Stop right there, criminal scum!
If this is your first time playing Subnautica, then I'd highly recommend you enjoy your first time through for yourself and experience the game how it's supposed to be played. Subnautica is very immersive and enjoyable. A first playthrough is always special. If you just want trophies or don't particularly care about this video game, then just carry on and let's not mention this part. Welcome aboard, Captain.
Hello there, and welcome to my Subnautica Platinum Trophy Speedrun Guide. Recently I beat the fastest platinum time for this game after much testing and experimentation. The techniques I'm going to discuss here are already well known throughout the Subnautica community, and they are posted basically everywhere on the internet, so all the information is out there. However, I feel that there is a lot of misinformation. It's not malicious or anything, it just seems as if some of those things work sometimes they don't work, or it's just some things are a little bit weird, you know? So I've come up with a way that makes it so that it's guaranteed to work for every single person, every single time you do it. And it's much easier to follow than some of the other guides I've seen. Alright, let's begin. First of all, the game mode you'll want to pick is Freedom, just so we have a lot less to think about. You can skip the opening scene if you want, just for some speed, but it's not completely necessary since the time begins when we collect our first trophy, which actually won't be for quite some time. The first thing we want to do is pause the game and press L1 and R1 together. This will enable the developer menu. Now we won't need many things from here, we'll mostly just be using the teleportation section. Speaking of which, the first destination is to teleport to Base 1. You have to remember though that whenever you teleport somewhere, you should always pause the game and let the area load. Otherwise, you'll just fall through the floor and end up in the ocean. Which is even more important here, since if you do fall through the floor and hit the ocean, then you're going to pop your first trophy, so your time is going to start. Try to avoid that if you are going for a fast time. If you're just going to go and clean up some trophies that you're missing, then don't really worry about this, you can just use the little timestamps in the bottom or whatever. Anyway, whilst we're loading up here, we can use the command BobTheBuilder, which will give us everything in the game. Well, almost. Once the area is loaded, we can unpause and start to build a base. Now we're going to want 2 rooms. Doesn't really matter how you lay them out, but 2 rooms are necessary.
And to record alien biological data. Weapons were removed from standard survival blueprints following the massacre on Abraxas Prime.
You're going to want to plonk down a solar panel somewhere just so you can power the base, and then you'll want to get inside and start to build an alien containment. I would suggest you build that in the second room, since the first room is going to need a little bit of space for our crafting.
It may be prudent to separate work and leisure spaces to maximize productivity. Treat this space as your home, but never forget that it is not. Aquariums provide an ideal opportunity to
Next up, we're going to have to make a fabricator, a locker, and 6 modification stations. Now the reason for 6 modification stations is because we need lead and diamonds, and I've found the fastest way and easiest way to get those is just to deconstruct modification stations a little bit later on. The locker here is just for excess materials, which we are no doubt going to acquire. From here though, make sure that you fabricate things in the order I give them. First, we're just going to use the modification station and get the best oxygen tank and the best fins. They'll be very useful in a little while. Next, we're going to move on to the fabricator and we're going to make a mobile vehicle bay and a radiation suit. The radiation suit isn't 100% necessary, but you might as well get it just for safety. Right, now we can start getting our resources. We're going to need 5 plasteel ingots, 4 enamelled glass, 2 lubricants, 2 regular glass, 1 titanium ingot, 1 power cell, an advanced wiring kit, 2 aerogels, and finally the hatching enzymes. Like I say, there's no rush here, we can just take things slow, take things easy, make sure you've got everything you need, make sure everything is in order. From here, you want to pause the game and disable no cost, fast build, fast scan, fast hatch, and fast grow. You have to be sure to disable all of these or you won't earn any trophies. Now you can disassemble your mod stations to get the 6 lead and 2 diamonds. At this point you'll very likely have an excess of materials, but that is why we built that locker. Plonk all your useless guff in there, so computer chips, the scanner, extra titanium and the additional diamonds. Remember, we need 6 lead and 2 diamonds. That means you can put 4 diamonds in the locker. It's time to pop our first trophy, and then we can begin the timer. Grab your mobile vehicle bay and run to the edge of the island, diving into the ocean, and boom, trophy get. Might take a little while to pop, but trophy get regardless. Throw your vehicle bay into the ocean and climb on. Now it's time to make our 3 vehicles. Any order you build them is fine, doesn't really matter. And at this point you should have all the materials you need. If not, don't worry, you can always go back to the base, enable the no cost cheat and just get the missing materials. Just make sure that you disable no cost when you come back to build them. But if you've been following along, then you should have everything. Once you've built your 3 vehicles, you now have to enable no cost again and build the Neptune rocket platform. Now it's actually okay to fully build the Neptune rocket with the no cost cheat, since you don't actually get the trophy for the rocket until you're inside, powered on, and you've started to take off. So for now, you can just build all the parts you need with the cheat, and then once you're done, you can disable no cost. Now it's time to teleport all around the map. Quickly teleport back to base 1, run through the base, go down the ladder, and pick up the PDA called Storm. That'll give you the trophy Seaside Living. Next we want to teleport to base number 2. Obviously pause the game and wait for the area to load, and then we enter the base, turn left, go up the ladder into the observatory, pick up the PDA called Stalker Teeth, and there's your next trophy. Next up, we're going to teleport to base 3. Obviously, we're going to pause, unpause, and swim around the base and look for a little opening. Go inside, go around the containment tank, swim down into the opening, and to the left, there'll be a creature egg. Sometimes this takes a little while to load in, so if it's not there straight away, just give it a few extra seconds, maybe pause the game and let it load. It will be there though. Pick up the egg and turn right. To the right there will be a PDA called Risk Taking. Pick that up for your next trophy.
Integrating new PDA data.
Now we're going to teleport back to base 1. Of course we're going to pause the game, unpause when ready and go inside the base. From here you want to get to your alien containment. Hop inside and drop the egg. We want to open up the dev menu again and enable the cheat Fast Hatch. We can unpause then and wait for the Cuddlefish to hatch. Once it's hatched, we go back into the menu and disable Fast Hatch. And then we can pick up the Cuddlefish. To get the trophy for the Cuddlefish, you have to release him into the ocean, but we'll be going there soon enough anyway, so you can just hold on to him for now. Always remember to make sure all your cheats are off when you want to get a trophy. Now we need to teleport to a place marked Gun. Once you're there, you can open up the dev menu and give yourself the precursor keys so that you can disable the force field. Go inside the structure and look for a terminal at the back. Click on that and you should get your next trophy. If it doesn't pop immediately, just walk around the base a little bit, let the game load, and then you should get the trophy. These location-based trophies can be a little bit laggy, especially considering we're teleporting around everywhere. Next up, we're going to teleport to a place called Lost River Base. Swim inside this place and go to the left. You should get a trophy around here, right in front of the ion cube. Since we're in front of the ion cube, pick it up. We're going to need that for a little bit later on. Next, we're going to teleport to a place called Lava Castle Base. In here, you're going to take damage constantly, but it's not a lot of damage, so it's nothing to really worry about. However, this trophy is a little bit weird since you need to swim around the structure to pop the trophy, so just try and swim close to the top of the area and maybe swim around it, and eventually it will pop.
To the sea floor. Detecting an alien broadcast. Linguistic analysis reads, caution, hazardous materials and life forms contained within.
Next, we're going to teleport to the generator room, or gen room as it's called. Remember to have a repair tool on you for this one, and since we used BobTheBuilder at the start, you should have one. I didn't tell you to put that away, so you should have it on you. If you don't have it on you, go back to base 1 and pick it up. But I didn't tell you to put it away, so what are you doing? In the gen room, we have to repair all the breaches. It's easy enough, you just find the little sparky holes and repair them. If one of those arm suckers lands on you, you just pull out a knife and slash it. Once again, you've used BobTheBuilder, you should have a knife on you. Don't let them suck you for too long though, or you'll die. And we don't want that, that's just going to slow things down. Repair all the breaches, and trophy get. Next we're going to teleport to the place called the Aquarium. If you need any oxygen, then this is a good spot to get some since there's a big hole at the top. You shouldn't need any since in the gen room you can get some oxygen as well, but this is a good spot to get some if you do need some.
Drive core breach sealed. Radiation levels decreasing.
Swim down away from the Sea Emperor and towards the eggs. You should get another trophy here as you're swimming down. Place the ion cube that we picked up earlier into this hole in the middle and let the device power up. Now turn around and swim towards the sandy triangle and wait for the Sea Emperor to blow you.
Others came here once. They built these walls. They played alone. They bore me. Now they're gone. And instead, we have you. We are curious whether you swim with the current or fight against it as they do.
At this point you can turn back around, go to the terminal and insert the hatching enzymes. I've found that if you don't do things in this order, then the game tends to glitch and kind of break sequence, meaning that you won't be able to cure the infection, and more often than not those baby emperors just disappear or don't hatch and the big Sea Emperor just dies, so try and follow things exactly. If you need any oxygen, which is quite likely, you can just spawn in a sea moth. To do this you open the developer menu, go to give, scroll down to sea moth and give yourself one. Don't worry, anything in the Give menu will not disable trophies. Now we just need to wait for one of the babies to spit some glowing blobs, and then we have to go out and grab it.
My young are swimming for the shallows. I thank you. Their freedom is my end. What will it be like, I wonder, to go to sleep and never wake up? Perhaps next we meet, I will be an ocean current, carrying seas to a new land.
Once we've been riddled with the glowing spit, then we have the infection cured. Trophy get. At this point, you'll also want to release your Cuddlefish. We could have released the Cuddlefish anywhere we wanted really, but since this area is fully loaded since we've been here for so long, and it's a lovely place, why not release him here? You can now teleport to the place called Gun Terminal, which is near the bottom of the list. This area might load strangely, but it'll still function even if you do end up swimming in the air. Activate the terminal and shut down the gun. At this point, I would highly recommend you save your game. As I've mentioned before, teleporting all over the place is very liable to make your game crash, which is to be expected, but if the game crashed now, then at the very least, you'd have to make a vehicle bay, make the rocket again, cure the infection, and disable the gun before you can take off. So I would recommend you save just to be safe. Now, we need to make a habitat. We did make one earlier, but we made it with the cheats enabled, so we didn't get a trophy for it. Make sure that you have no cheats enabled, and if you've been following along, then you won't have any on anyway. Teleport to Rec 1 and dive down. You're looking for 2 pieces of metal salvage and 1 piece of quartz, all of which should be pretty much readily available in this little area here. Now this trophy can be a little bit iffy. More often than not, you can just teleport back to base 1 once you've got your stuff and use your original base to fabricate your titanium, and then we can just hop outside, make a new base somewhere, and the trophy should pop. If it doesn't, then your safest bet is just to make a new game, enable BobTheBuilder, disable all the related cheats, so no cost, fast build, fast scan, fast hatch, and fast grow, and then you dive down, look for the 2 scrap and 1 quartz, pop back up into the life pod, make your titanium, dive back down, and create your habitat. Now this will work 100% of the time, so you'll only really need to do that if the first method doesn't work, which admittedly is somewhat often. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't, so you may need to go for the new game method. Of course, I'd rather just give you a method to solve a potential problem that you might have now, rather than let you figure it out for yourself or ask me later in the comments, even though I don't mind answering. At this point, you should only have 2 trophies remaining, not counting the platinum of course. They should be to launch the Neptune rocket and leave a time capsule. To do that, we need to walk back to base 1, run to our Neptune rocket that we made all those minutes ago, and climb inside. There's 3 switches on the bottom section that you need to flick, and 3 panels on the top section.
Auxiliary power unit online. Communications systems array active. Pressurizing hydraulics. Primary computer systems active.
The middle panel is our time capsule. Here you can leave anything you want inside it, it doesn't matter. For the screenshot you can literally just press R3 right now and use that screenshot. And for the message you can just press G, since that's the first letter that appears when the cursor defaults to something.
Capsule ready. Life support systems online.
Spin around and hop into the chair to unlock the last 2 trophies and get the platinum. If you've done everything right, that is. Which, if you've been following along this perfect guide, then you should have been doing everything correct. I've personally done lots of testing for this, and this has been by far the fastest and easiest way. Provable, because I'm number 1. Now of course, if you get the platinum trophy by following this, then congratulations. If you go for a fast time and you beat me, then let me know what your final time was. Have a look on PlayStation profiles and see what the time was, and maybe you might even be on the leaderboard. I am hoping that I've inspired people to try and beat the fastest time here. I know for a fact this time that I've set is very beatable, so come on, smash that tiny arse. Ugh. Anyway, I hope this was easy enough to follow, and in general I just hope it helped, and I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you very much, and take care.
Orbital debris field clear. Performing gravity turn maneuver. Confirm destination coordinates. Nearest interstellar phase gate. Engaging ion boosters in 3, 2, 1.